This is quinapril, also known as Acupril. It treats heart failure and high blood pressure. It was the 269th most commonly prescribed medication in the USA in 2017. Cetirizine, aka Zyrtec, treats common allergy symptoms, dermatitis, and hives. It is on the WHO's list of essential medicines to have in your home. Adderall, brand name, generic name amphetamine, treats ADHD and narcolepsy. Can also be used as an athletic performance enhancer and appetite suppressant. Amoxil, also known as amoxicillin, treats bacterial infections such as chest and dental. It is the most commonly prescribed medications in children. Albuterol, also known as ProAir, treats COPD, asthma, wheezing, tightness in the chest. It is also used in animals to treat acute airway obstruction. This one's really long, sorry. Allegra, also known as fexofenadine, treats allergy symptoms such as itchy eyes, runny nose, sneezing, etc. I could not find a fun fact about this one. Ambien, also known as zolpidem, treats insomnia in adults and is a Schedule IV controlled substance. It is also very highly addictive and a very strong drug to use. Cefrizil, aka Cefzil, treats bacterial infections in different parts of the body. This one can only treat bacterial infections and not viral. Keflex, also known as cephalexin, treats bacterial infections like ear infections, skin infections, and UTIs. I could not find a fun fact for this one. Lortidine, also known as Claritin, treats hay fever symptoms, which is symptoms of allergies. Anthem Blue Cross petitioned the FDA to make this over-the-counter drug when the FDA wasn't at first going to make it over-the-counter. Tenormin, also known as atenolol, is used to treat angina hypertension. It's used to lower the risk of death after a heart attack, as we see right here. Augmentin, also known as amoxicillin and clavulanate, is used to treat infections like UTI, ear infections, bronchitis, and skin infections. The fact is it could make birth control pills less effective while taking it, as we see right here. Amazicor, also known as triamcinolone, is used to treat asthma. It is not indicated to relieve an acute bronchospasm, which we know as an asthma attack. Bactroban topical, also known as muciprocin, is used to treat skin infections like impetigo. This may improve actual symptoms before the infection is cleared, which normally doesn't happen in these types of cases. Biazan XL is also known as clarithromycin. It is an antibiotic used to treat infections like skin, ear, tonsillitis, throat, and skin infections. The fact is it can treat Lyme disease and cat scratch disease also. Which, in this case, yeah, it's pretty common with this drug. Buspar, also known as Buspirone, is used to treat anxiety. It is a part of a new class called azaspiridicandione. I think that's how you say it. Cordura, also known as doxazin, is used to treat hypertension or, as we know, high blood pressure. This can also enlarge prostate, which we see right here. Acefex, also known as Rabzerapol, is used to treat symptoms of GERD, which include acid reflux and heartburn. The fact is, doctors may prescribe this to prevent a duodenal ulcer, which is a type of ulcer that comes with this, that is not GERD. Celebrex, also known as celecoxib, treats pain and inflammation and symptoms of rheumatoid arthritis and osteoporosis. This only targets certain inflammatory proteins in the body. I did not have a photo for this one. I couldn't find a photo for this one. Cipra, also known as ciprofloxacin, is used to treat bacteria infections like chest, skin, and bone, and UTIs. This is most well-known treatment for anthrax, which is a very deadly disease, which is more common than we think. Celexa, also known as citalopram, this treats symptoms of depression. It can raise energy levels while taking this, and when you have symptoms of depression, you probably want your energy levels raised because you're probably feeling down all the time, so you probably want them raised. Pioglitazone, also known as Actos, used to control blood sugar levels for people with type 2 diabetes. This should be taken with diet and exercise programs since it is used to treat type 2 diabetes. Klonopin, also known as clonazepam, this is an anti-epileptic drug used to control seizures. You can get a high from taking this drug, so you will feel high. You will feel maybe a little unstoppable, but yes, you will get a high from this drug. Catapres, also known as clonidine, this is used to treat hypertension or high blood pressure. The fact is it can also prevent migraines. Comudin, also known as warfarin, this is used to reduce chances of strokes and prevent blood clots. I could not find a fact for this one. Cozar, also known as lorcatin potassium, this treats high blood pressure and helps protect kidneys from damage due to diabetes. This lowers the chance of a stroke and an enlarged heart. In this photo right here, this would be an enlarged heart right here. No, that would be an enlarged heart. It is also called cardiomegaly. Detrol LA, also known as tolerdine tartrate. This is used to treat overactive bladder, and I could not find a photo for this one. Tolerdine tartrate. Valium, also known as diazepam. This is used to treat anxiety and seizures. This is also an alcohol withdrawal drug, so if you are recovering from alcohol addiction, your doctor might prescribe this for you. Diflucan, also known as fluconazole. This is used to treat fungal and yeast infections. This drug, unlike most, does not require a special diet. I could not find a photo for this. Well, there was not really a photo to go along with that. Dilantin, also known as phenytoin, used to treat certain types of seizures called tonic-clonic and psychomotor. The fact is, this drug can only be used on those types of seizures, no other types of seizures. Diovan, also known as valsartan, is an antihypertensive to not have blood vessels tighten, which can constrict the blood flow. This can cause fetal toxicity, so doctors will usually watch out with prescribing this if woman is pregnant during pregnancy. If woman is pregnant and they... Yeah. Effexor, also known as venlafaxine, is used to treat anxiety, and it is not recommended for peds as it can invoke suicidal thoughts in them, and they are more at risk for suicidal thoughts since they are under. Avista, also known as Redaxfine, this is used to treat osteoporosis. It may increase blood clot in leg, lung, or eye, and doesn't sound fun to me. Flomax, also known as tamsulosin, this is used to treat an enlarged prostate, can affect your pupils during cataract surgery. That is a large prostate right there. Flonase, also known as fluctinase, treats symptoms of hay fever like itching, sneezing, runny nose. This may cause seeing halos around lights, and if you ever wonder, this is what a halo around a light is. I'm trying to think this up. This is a halo around a light, yeah. Lasix, also known as furosemide. This can be used to reduce extra fluid in the body due to diseases like kidney and liver disease. This can also be used to treat high blood pressure. Glucophage, also known as metformin, this is used to treat type 2 diabetes. With the control of blood sugar while taking glucophage, it can help with blindness and sexual function problems. Fosamax, also known as aldrenonol sodium, this is used in treatment with osteoporosis patients. This is only used in women after menopause, so when they gain osteoporosis. Glucotrol, also known as glipizide, is used to treat symptoms of type 2 diabetes. Did not have a fact for this one. Hydrochlorothiazide, also known as microzide, this treats extra fluid in the body. This drug has been around since 1959, is on the CDC list of essential drugs. High single ER is hydrocodone ER or hydrocodone extended release. This is used to treat severe pain. High single and oxycodone are very similar in drugs. Hyzar, also known as lorcatin/hydrochloride. This is used to treat high blood pressure, and I could not find a fact for this one either. Motrin, also known as ibuprofen. This is an NSAID to reduce fever, headache, and nausea. Motrin on the CDC list. Motrin is on the CDC list for essential medicines. And we all know Motrin. Most of us take it. Imitrex, also known as sumatriptan. This helps treat migraine symptoms, including headache, pain, and nausea. This can cause gut ischemia with it. Ketlar, also known as ketamine. This can treat anxiety and bipolar disorder, and I could not find a fact for this one either. Chloricon, also known as potassium chloride, this prevents low potassium levels in the bloodstream. You may need a frequent ECG to check heart function when on this med, but it is different for everyone, so listen to what prescriber says. Levoxyl, also known as levothyroxine, treats underactive thyroid. This should only be taken in the morning on an empty stomach, so no food, and not at night. Lipitor, also known as atrovastin, lowers bad cholesterol and fats. It can cause a condition that can break down musculoskeletal tissue that can lead to kidney failure. Not saying it will, but there is a chance it can. Levaquin, also known as levofloxacin, treats bacterial infections like kidney infections. Can be used to treat plague for people who are exposed to it, but we don't see that much since the vaccines we have today. Ativan, also known as lorazepam, treats anxiety and insomnia. This can be dangerous in people who have narrow angle glaucoma, and this was a shock to me because these are two opposite things. This is insomnia, while the fact can mess up people with glaucoma. Lortel, also known as amlodipine and benazepril, treats high blood pressure. This is a combo of two drugs, which can be we know as a compression tablet. Lortazone cream, also known as clotrimazole and betamethasone, treats fungal infections like athlete's foot and ringworm, and I could not find a fact for this one. Macrobid, also known as nitrofurantoin, treats bladder infections, and it's been around since 1953. Provera, also known as medroxyprogesterone, treats secondary amenorrhea. It didn't gain final FDA approval until 1992 under the name Depo-Provera to be used as a contraceptive. Digoxin, also known as methamphetamines, treats ADHD. These are very highly addictive drugs, as we know, methamphetamines. But in World War II, German soldiers would actually use this as a very common medication, as common as we know as Advil, Claritin, stuff like that. Very common. Larpressor, also known as metoprolol tarte, treats hypertension. It is banned by the World Anti-Doping Agency in some sports, such as archery. So, no using this drug in archery. Monopril, also known as fosinapril, treats hypertension. It was developed for use in patients for renal impairment, which sets it apart from other ACE inhibitors. Cadian, also known as morphine extended release, treats moderate to severe pain if used as an opioid replacement for people with heroin addiction. This can show possible reduction of opioid use after, which is good, and we know morphine works. Naproxen, also known as naproxen, treats arthritis symptoms such as inflammation, swelling, and joint pain. It is used for treatment. It can also be used for treatment in horses with equine external rhabdomyolysis, which it can be used in humans and horses. Trisur, also known as fenofibrate, lowers bad cholesterol. If taken during pregnancy, can put fetus at risk for birth defects or health risks in the womb. Diflucan, also known as fluconazole, treats common yeast infections. Food does not affect how this medication works on the body, so unlike other medications, it doesn't really matter. Duragesic, also known as fentanyl, used to treat severe pain that needs attention all the time or 24 hours, can be very deadly, is also a very high addictive drug, as we know fentanyl. Street drugs are laced with fentanyl, and fentanyl makes the street drugs 10 times more deadly than they already are. Pepcid, also known as famotidine, treats symptoms of GERD and reduces acid, can prevent stomach ulcers. This is a combination of 3 drugs, which we know as a multi-compression tablet. Proscar, also known as finasteride, is used to treat hair loss or urinary retention. Fiasol, also known as ferrous sulfate, it's a supplement for low iron levels, and a fun fact is this drug is vegetarian. Neurontin treats certain types of seizures and is gabapentin. This can be used in animals as a sedative. Yes, that is my dog, and he has used this, so thank you, Comment, for helping me remember that. Neurontin, gabapentin. Amaral is glimepiride, and it treats high blood sugar and type 2 diabetes. Could not find any facts. Diabeta, also known as glyburide, treats type 2 diabetes and was discovered in 1969, but not approved for use until 1989. I just skipped it was not approved. It was discovered in 1969, but not approved for use in the U.S. until 1984, which is pretty long after. Glucotrol, also known as glipizide, is used to treat type 2 diabetes. Could not find a fact for this one. Lopid, also known as gemcitabine, lowers triglycerides, which is fats, and bad cholesterol, and I could not find a fact for this one. Robitussin, also known as guanfacine, treats coughs caused by the common cold, bronchitis, etc. A fact is that it is a highly addictive drug, but is one of the only over-the-counter drugs sold in very small doses. Glucovance, also known as glyburide and metformin, treats high blood sugar in people with type 2 diabetes. With taking this, you can build up lactic acid in your blood, so have your prescriber will watch out for that. Lortab, also known as hydrocodone and acetaminophen, treats moderate to severe pains for short-term pain. Normally, this is a Schedule 2 drug, right there, 2. Microzide, also known as HCTZ, which is hydrochlorothiazide, treats high blood pressure. I cannot find a fact for this one. Vistarli, also known as hydroxyzine palmitate, treats itching caused by allergies. It can also be used for making someone tired before or after surgery, so a kid or someone who just needs help with that. Plaquenil, also known as hydroxychloroquine, is used in treatment of arthritis to relieve pain, swelling, stiffness, and inflammation in the bones. Presoline, also known as hydralazine, is used to treat high blood pressure. This drug is actually not addictive, which I thought it would have been. Atarax, also known as hydroxyzine, treats itching caused by allergies. This drug was discontinued by the manufacturer because of the generic version being more affordable. Diluted generic hydromorphine treats moderate to severe pain. This does leave room for high risk of addiction and dependence on this drug. Nasonex, also known as mometasone, treats seasonal and year-round allergies like stuffy nose, sneezing, itching. A study did show that Nasonex had improved sleep in some patients. Neurontin, gabapentin is the same as the one up there, the one with my dog. OxyContin, also known as oxycodone, treats severe pain such like pain due to cancer. They are in delay release form feature, but an abuser can bypass that by chewing them and getting rid of the delay release. Paxil, also known as paroxetine, treats disorders like anxiety, panic, and PTSD. Could not find a fact for this one either. Zato, also known as oxycodone, is used to treat moderate to severe pain. There's no generic equivalent in the USA for this one. Wait. Penicillin VK, also known as penicillin V potassium, is used to treat meningitis, pneumonia, syphilis, and gonorrhea. Penicillins were the first antibiotic doctors ever used. Lactose, also known as pioglitazone, this is used to treat blood sugar with patients who have type 2 diabetes. This was taken off the market because it was proven to cause bladder cancer or heart problems. Cefzil, also known as cefprozil, treats bacterial infections. Do not drink or smoke marijuana while you're taking this. It can cause you to be really dizzy. Pravachol, also known as pravastatin, lowers bad cholesterol and raises good cholesterol. Unlike other statins, Pravachol is not metabolized in the liver. Yeah. Prevacid, also known as lansoprazole, helps symptoms such as heartburn, issues swallowing, and persistent cough due to acid damage. When taken in long term, there can be serious side effects. Pernavil, also known as lisinopril, treats high blood pressure and hypertension after a heart attack, and the fun fact is this can cause insomnia. Phenergan, also known as promethazine, treats allergy symptoms such as itching, running nose, and coughing. This was developed in France. Prozac, also known as fluoxetine, treats depression, OCD, and bulimia. The fun fact is that zoo animals that have OCD also take this one because this is what works in both animals and humans. Darvon, also known as propioxyphene, treats mild to moderate severe pain, and they stopped making this on my birthday. Zantac, also known as ranitidine, treats acid indigestion. FDA has found this can cause cancer in the liver. Gramarol, also known as meritazapine, this treats major depressive disorder, and this can cause anorexia. Risperidone, also known as risperidone, treats schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and autism. This can also cause insomnia. Singular, also known as Montelaz. Norvasc, also known as amlodipine, treats hypertension, CAD, and chest pain, and there's no interaction with grapefruit, which shocked me because I don't know why grapefruit would interact. Levexol, also known as levothyroxine, treats underactive thyroid. This should only be taken in the morning on an empty stomach, no food in your stomach. Tamoxifen, also known as Nolvadex, treats breast cancer. This was originally a contraceptive before it was made to treat breast cancer. Toprol XL, also known as metoprolol-succinate, treats chest pain and heart failure. I could not find a fact for this one. Deserol, also known as trazodone, treats depression. This can be used in dogs too. Amoxil or Trimox treats bacteria infections. Liquid amoxicillin cannot be used in milk for kids to be given to them. Ultram, also known as tramadol, treats moderate to severe pain. You can lose sexual ability as a side effect on this drug. Valtrex, also known as valacyclovir, treats herpes. This can also treat shingles as well. Vasotec, also known as Enlapril, lowers blood pressure. Could not find a fact for this one. Vetids, also known as penicillin V potassium, treats bacteria infections. Viagra, also known as sildenafil, treats erectile dysfunction. This was CIA's weapon against the Taliban. Vicoprofen, also known as hydrocodone ibuprofen, treats moderate to severe pain. Vioxx, also known as rofecoxib, treats symptoms of arthritis. This has been linked to thousands of heart attacks in it. Warfarin, also known as Coumadin, is an anti-blood clot med. This was the first anticoagulant made. Wellbutrin, also known as bupropion, treats depression. This can help people stop smoking too. Zaltan, also known as Lanopras, ophthalmic solution, treats high pressure due to glaucoma in the eye, and it could not find effect. Xenical, also known as Orlistat, helps lose weight. This has been taken off the market because it has potentially deadly side effects. Zestril, also known as lisinopril, treats high blood pressure and heart failure. Zithromax, also known as zithromycin, treats bacterial infections such as bronchitis and pneumonia. This is not a cure for syphilis and will only help the symptoms. Zocor, also known as simvastatin, helps lower bad cholesterol and raises good. Zoloft, also known as stearin hydrochloride, treats MDD, PTSD, and PMCD and panic disorders. You cannot drink alcohol, all in this drug. Zyprexa, also known as Alzanapine, treats schizophrenia. Levora, also known as Nordet 28, is a birth control pill. They have high success, higher than progesterone pills. Allegra D, also known as fexofenadine, treats symptoms of allergies such as itchy, watery eyes, sneezing. This drug can make you both awake and tired at the same time. Zalipram, also known as alpunerol, treats gout and different types of kidney stones. Alphaeon, also known, treats open angular glaucoma and ocular hypertension. Xanax, also known as alprazolam, treats anxiety and panic disorder. Xanax addictions aren't a choice most of the time. Allotace, also known as ramipril, treats high blood pressure. For people of African American descent, this drug might not lower their blood pressure, which is what they're usually prescribed for. Endip, also known as amitriptyline, treats mental mood problems such as depression. This can be used off-label, so it's not fully approved, but doctors can use it still. Rayos, also known as prednisolone, treats rheumatoid arthritis and lupus. I could not find a fun fact for this one. Some of these are really hard to find fun facts. Adzens, ER, also known as amphetamine, treats narcolepsy, ADHD, and obesity. This is a class 2 drug. Dilatam, also known as Tyzic, treats chest pain or hypertension. Roxyset, also known as acetaminophen and oxycodone, treats moderate to severe pain. This brand name has been discontinued in the U.S. Aricept, also known as donepezil, treats Alzheimer's. This can cause stomach ulcers. Atenolol, also known as tenormin, treats high blood pressure. There was a recall for this that the company made a manufacturing error. Atrovan, also known as ipratropium inhalation, treats symptoms of COPD and bronchitis. This is not a rescue medication, so it should be used over a long period of time. Avandia, also known as rosiglitazone, controls blood sugar levels in people with type 2 diabetes. This does have a black box warning for buildup of fluid in the body. Avapro, also known as irbesartan, treats hypertension, and I could not find a fact for this one. Baycol, also known as servastatin, stops production of bad cholesterol. This was recalled due to muscle destruction and deaths in some people in the USA. Dilitazam, also known as Cardizem, treats chest pain or hypertension. Cariprazole or Soma is used to relax muscles and ease pain. This can only be used for short periods of time, not long term. No long-term use. Cefuroxime treats infections caused by bacteria. This drug is chemically similar to penicillin. Clarinex ReadyTab, also known as Deslortine ODT, treats allergy symptoms such as watery eyes, runny nose, and itching. This is similar to Xyzal. Claritin D12, also is Lortin, and pseudoretapine, treats allergy symptoms. Lortidine and pseudoephedrine, also known as Lortidine B12, treats allergies sometimes. Estradiol transdermal, also known as Olora, treats symptoms of menopause. Hydrochlorothiazide valsartan treats Diovan. This treats hydrochlorothiazide and mometasone dermal, also known as Elicon, treats itching and swollen skin. Erythromycin, also known as Aritab, treats respiratory, skin, and inflammation disease. This was discovered by a Filipino scientist, and the company never gave him credit for it. Fluoxetine inhalation, also known as Artunia lipita, treats OCD and PMDD. This can be used in dogs, and that is my dog. Folic acid, also known as Folacin 800, treats low levels of folate and high levels of homocysteine. This can be used in dog breeds that are at risk for cleft palate, so like Frenchies and Bulldogs. Gemfibrozil, also known as Lopid, reduces cholesterol and triglycerides in the blood. Glyburide, also known as Diabeta, treats high blood sugar levels. This was developed in 1966 and is still around today. Isosorbide monotrate, also known as Monocut, prevents chest pain and heart disease. This took 10 years after it was patented before being approved for medical use. Digoxin, also known as Lanoxin, treats heart failure. Charles Cullen admitted to killing as much as 40 hospital patients with digoxin in 2003. Fluvastatin, also known as Lescal, lowers bad cholesterol and triglycerides in the blood. This can cause insomnia. Albuterol and ipratropium, also known as Comivant Respimat, treats symptoms of asthma and chronic bronchitis. Cyclobenzaprine, also known as Omerix, is used to relax muscles in your body. This has a low risk of medication abuse. Ethanol, estradiol, and norgestrel, also known as low overall 28, prevents pregnancy and is what we know as birth control, is first seen in Germany. Benzapril, also known as Latensin, treats high blood pressure. This can be used in dogs. Methylphenidate, also known as Concerta, treats ADD, ADHD, and narcolepsy. This was named after a chemist's wife, Rita, who used Ritalin. Methylprednisolone, also known as Medrol, used to treat a number of things such as swelling, allergies, arthritis, asthma, etc. Calciton salmon, also known as Forticol, treats osteoporosis. This should be used with a calcium supplement and only for women who have been in menopause for 5 years. Nicotine gum, also known as leader nicotine, helps people stop smoking. In Australia and New Zealand, there's no restriction to it. Promethazine, also known as Phenergan, treats anaphylaxis. Purple drink or lean has Phenergan in it. Felodipine, also known as Plendil, treats high blood pressure, and it's Swedish. Trimetrine, also known as Diazide, treats high blood pressure. There is no over-the-counter alternative. Salmeterol, also known as Serventiscus, treats COPD. This is not a long-term drug. Conjugated estrogens and medroxyprogesterone treats moderate to severe symptoms of menopause and hot flashes. Clotipedrol, also known as Plavix, prevents platelets from clogging together and creating a blood clot. Hydrochlorothiazide and lisinopril, also known as Zesteric, treats high blood pressure. This was made in 1979. Ethanol, estradiol, and levonorgestrel, also known as Avene, is used to prevent pregnancy. Tobramycin and dexamethasone, also known as Tobradex, treats permanent damage in the eye. Temazepine, also known as Restoril, treats insomnia. Nefazone, also known as Surdazone, treats depression. This was discontinued in 2003 for the chance of hepatotoxicity. Methylphenidate, also known as Ritalin, treats children with ADHD. This affects the body by changing the mood. Nebumetron, also known as Ralafine, treats moderate to severe pain or arthritis. If NSAIDs don't work, you can also use this as an alternative. Albuterol ProAir smooths the muscles in the airway to calm down asthma attacks. This is RX only. Nifedipine ER, also known as Procardia, treats high blood pressure. Used to be one of the main hypertension drugs, but it was recalled due to deaths. Omeprazole, also known as Zegrid, treats acid reflux and symptoms of it. From my experience, it does not work at all. Conjugated estrogens, also known as Premarin, treats symptoms of menopause and hypoestrogen. They get this drug from the urine of pregnant mares. Ecstasy, also known as Molly, is used in PTSD patients and social anxiety in autistic adults. This is called the love drug. Cannabis can help with many things, such as Crohn's, epilepsy, stress, and pain, and cancer. This wasn't legalized in most states until a few years ago. Amyl nitrate, also known as amyl nitrate inhalation, treats acute angina or cyanide poisoning. This has been around since 1844. Escitalopram, Lexapro, treats depression and anxiety. This only starts working by the second or third week. Sulfasoxyl and trimethoprim, Bacterium. Esomeprazole and Nexium treats too much acid in the stomach, said to treat better than competitor omeprazole. Acetaminophen and oxycodone, also known as Percocet, treats moderate to severe pain. I couldn't find one, but now I realize this is an RX only. Fluoctazonol and Samarital, also known as Advair Discus, treats difficulty breathing, wheezing, shortness of breath caused by asthma. Carvedilol, also known as Coreg, treats high blood pressure. You cannot drink caffeine while on this drug. Rovastatin, also known as duloxetine, also known as Cymbalta, treats depression and anxiety. Lovastatin, also known as Alteprev, lowers bad cholesterol. Melacoxin, also known as Mobic. Duloxetine, also known as Vibromycin, treats different types of bacterial infections. This is used for treating COVID symptoms. Insulin Gargline, Lantus, gives insulin to patients with type 2 diabetes. Quintimin, also known as Sorquel, treats schizophrenia, bipolar, and other mood disorders. Phenobarbital, also known as Tristor, treats bad cholesterol. This has no generic option. Codeine and acetaminophen, also known as Tylenol, treats moderate to severe pain. People with diabetes take this every day. Azametabine and Simvastatin, also known as Vytorin, treats high cholesterol. Dosaprone and ethostrol prevents pregnancy. This could be used for acne too. Cipralnoconate, also known as Aldactone, gets rid of extra fluid in the body. Pregbalin, also known as Lyrica, treats pain caused by cancer. Ceftir, also known as Omnicef, treats bacteria in the body.